Hello, welcome to a practice all about breath and thus meditation. So for our meditation practice, we want to have a focal point for each meditation. And breath is it's like a channel into your meditation. So we're going to be doing 3 different styles of breathing. And these breathing styles are to allow the nervous system to drop into its parasympathetic response. And that's the response that is associated with rest, digest, restore. It's the response that gets the body into a place of repair. And so it's a really good breath to do before you go to bed so that the body can prepare for sleep and then have a more proactive sleep, a more restful sleep even. And sometimes doing this kind of breathing practice can put you into a state of what they call yoga nidra, where it's restful sleep. And they're doing all kinds of studies now of putting little nodes on people's brains and seeing that this kind of meditation can even be more restorative than sleep. So that's just showing like a little tiny bit about how important it is to be doing intentional rest and meditation. So one way that we're going to stay focused during this meditation is to focus on our breath. There's a lot of different breathing styles. As far as like the yoga practice goes, we have over 50 styles of breathing. Today we're just going to focus on 3. And it's going to be sequential. So we'll start with the natural breath and just being like aware of our natural breath. And then we're going to take that into a 3-part breath where we're breathing into the various cavities of our body. And then we're going to do retention breath that we call 4-part breath. And there's fancy terms for all that, but just knowing like the natural, the 3-part, and the 4-part will help you keep it organized. Okay, so the first things first, before we even start breathing and meditating, we want to make sure the body is comfortable. And that really is the whole point of yoga and the movement practice, is to get the body to get all the kinks out so that we can sit in meditation. So to sit in meditation, we want our knees lower than our hips or at the same height of the hips. So with my bolster gone, you can see I still have my knees and my hips the same height, but I like to have the bolster there. It just is a little bit easier on the lower back. So find something in your house that you want to sit on. A bolster is great, a blanket's great, a bunch of books with a blanket on top of it can be good too. Because if you're in the situation where your knees are up here, you want to keep getting your hips higher and higher and higher so that your knees will be lower. A chair is also a suitable position, because remember, the priority is that your body is comfortable. If the body's not comfortable, it's going to keep talking to you and you're going to get distracted in your meditation. Okay, so body's comfortable, and then we want to avoid fidgeting. So my strategy or little hack for before I do meditation is to intentionally fidget. So I'll kind of roll my wrists around, move my fingers around. I'll do little shoulder shrugs or rolls. And then take some little cat-cows where you arch the spine and round the spine. And just start to get into the body. Allow yourself to arrive in this place. And then sitting up tall, let's close our eyes. And taking away the sense of sight will enhance our other senses. So we'll start to notice our sense of touch, your sense of hearing. So notice what you're hearing right now, the sounds in your space, the sound of my voice, the sound of your own breath. Notice the touch, notice your hands on your legs. Notice where your arms are hanging. Does your upper arm feel your upper body? Notice where you're sitting. Feel your hips rooting into the bolster or the ground or whatever you're sitting on. Really feel that weight. Notice your legs and feet, everything getting heavier on your exhales. And on your inhales, allow your body to sit up even taller. So the breath allows the body to extend with the head going up toward the ceiling. And then as you're exhaling, releasing, relaxing, you can even let the body get a little heavier and droopy. And then as you're inhaling, notice that dynamic dance of the breath, how it opens and enlivens the body on the inhale. And then on the exhale, soften, letting go. So we're not doing any engagement in the belly. All we're doing is allowing the breath to come in and out naturally and completely. And starting to notice your sense of smell, how evenly you're breathing in and out of your nostrils. Is one nostril working better than the other? Starting to be very aware of our space, ourselves, our bodies, really listening for what arises. Noticing your sense of taste, where your tongue is, the condition of your throat and where the air passes in your throat, up and down the trachea. So we're going to have the tongue on the roof of the mouth, just beyond the front teeth. So the tip of the tongue is not touching the two front teeth, it's right behind it. And it goes in this little pocket. And so to seal the tongue up in the pocket, you want to put the tongue on the roof of the mouth and then swallow a few times. And you get this little suction. And then you're kind of pressing the tongue on the roof of the mouth to get space between your molars. So we're relaxing the jaw, we're relaxing the eyebrows, the forehead. And then start to count your breath. So let's inhale and just count how long your inhale is. And then exhale, count how long your exhale is. So it's like we're investigating our inner selves. We're doing this inward study. Let's count the inhale again. We'll take 2 more complete cycles of breath, investigating our own natural breath. We're not trying to change the breath. We're not judging the breath. All we're doing is getting more and more curious about our own breath. So you keep breathing naturally, and I'm going to explain this next part of the meditation, where we are going to breathe in 3 parts. So the first part is the very lowest part of the belly, and this is when let's actually put our hands on our lower belly. This is going to help us be more aware of where the breath is and how the breath moves into these different chambers of our torso. Because the torso, it's between these 2 sphincters, your perineum and your throat. And in yoga, we call that the root or the Mula Bandha, and then the throat lock or the Jalahara Bandha. So we're breathing in this cavity. And within this cavity, you actually have, you have your diaphragm and you have other locks. You have 2 more, or 3 more technically, but 2 more locks that have a lot more to do with your breath. So we have 1 chamber here, 1 chamber here, and 1 chamber here. And so we're going to gradually, it's not like we're just going to go like block, block, block. It's going to be like a wave. We're going to let the breath pass up, and then we're going to let the breath release. So inhaling, blow the belly up like you're inflating a balloon. So my hands are on my belly, and you'll see that my fingers are touching. And then as my breath expands, my fingers are no longer touching. That's how much I'm blowing up my belly. And then once the lower part of the belly is fully extended, then the breath goes up into the middle part of the chest where the lower ribs start to fan out. And then once that's complete and fully inflated, now the upper chest inflates and the upper rib cage expands. And then once you're full and you're tapped out and you feel like your upper sphincter is like going to open, then you're going to press the air out. Systematically, we're releasing the air. We're knitting the ribs back together bit by bit from top to bottom, and then we're allowing the breath to release out of the belly, like we're deflating the balloon. And then once it's at the very bottom and you have no more air, then you let the air come back in. Inhale into the lower belly. Let it rise nice and smooth up into the middle chest and all the way up into the upper chest. And you'll feel how even maybe the shoulders get a little bit more broad and the neck feels a little more expansive. Exhale, release the air. So you're going still at your own pace here. There's no right pacing for your 3-part breath. It's just making sure we're getting into all these chambers. And then exhale, gradually letting it out. So now I'm going to not talk, and we're just going to do this breath 3 cycles. Inhaling. Two more. And give yourself a little smile. Turn the sides of your lips up. Find pleasure in the nothingness of this moment. Okay, so now that's our 3-part breath. And this is a very relaxing breath. So this is a breath that we can utilize anytime that we need relaxation. And then to take it another step further is we're going to inhale that same way in this fluid motion. And then at the very top, once you're totally full, you're going to hold it in, retain the breath. And you can do that for a while. So we do this in a ratio. We can do 1, 1, 1, 1, or we can do like 2, 1, 2, 1. You know, you can play around with your ratio as you get better with this, or you just have more experience. But we're going to start with equal parts. So we're going to inhale for the count. Let's start with 4, actually. Let's inhale for the count of 4. And then we're going to hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let it all out for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then maintain nothingness. So you're not taking any air in, you're not letting any air out, you're just holding it. And that's about 4. Okay, so now we're going to inhale for 4. And then pause, feel that fullness, it's up in your throat. And then exhale, release it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Have nothingness at the bottom. Hold the bottom perineum nice and tight. And then inhale, inflate. Hold it for 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out for 4, 3, 2, 1. And now keep doing that pattern. If you feel like there's still more air to be received, you can go up to 6 or 10, or you can even go up to 20. But we want to be doing it in a place where it feels easy and that it's not anxiety producing. And then we're holding it for the same amount of time, or maybe half the time. So if you're inhaling for 8, maybe you're holding it for 4, and then exhale for 8, and then hold it for 4. So let's do 4 rounds. You choose a ratio, and let's do 4 rounds together. And then your last round. And then start breathing naturally again without retaining your breath. then start to go back to your inner senses and your inner sensations. So now we're getting back into that curious mind of like investigating our condition in this moment. Maybe you notice your pulse has shifted, maybe it's slower, maybe it's not slower, maybe it's the same. Maybe you notice your body more relaxed. Maybe you notice things are coming up, things that you need to do, things on your to-do list. We're just noticing all the things with equanimity. So there's no judgment. It's just an opportunity to reflect after breathing, intentionally sitting. And then bringing the hands to the heart, bow the head down. Let the elbows go broad and the thumbs touch in between your and in your chest. And then roll the head side to side, so ear over shoulder, roll the head the other direction, ear towards shoulder. Taking a deep inhale as you roll. And then exhale, let your ear hang over towards your shoulder in that position. Inhale, roll to the other side. Exhale, let the ear get heavy toward the shoulder. And then one more time, the head drops down toward the ground, over the hands, and then the head props up. And then hands rest down onto the lap. And then you can flutter your eyes open. You can look down, and then look around. And that's it.